In what way? Solving the universal equation demands considerable thoroughness, but also requires all possible efficiency. Though, that said, it's true that we must guard against skimping unduly, to any extent that might introduce error. This was just a start. Such models typically make an enormous amount of errors at first. All quite expected, an anticipated setback, nothing more. It simply needs to be revised and refined. You certainly seem to be making a lot out of this, though, one must say. Now, I'm starting to believe you're just needlessly fretting. Is this nerves? I'm sorry, I don't mean to be dismissive. Look, there may be some validity to some of your points, yes. But we'll improve. We will continue to stride forward. There's absolutely no need for all this doom and gloom. Oh, is one of you a seer now? Because I put considerable more stock in the prognostications of the Order's prime mathematicians than I do any old run-of-the-mill soothsayer. Now, is that all? Because I think I've had enough of all this. Everything we've done here is built off Seer Bujold's research, which is quite brilliant. That's both incorrect and rather mean. Ah, the experiment data just arrived in my terminal. Allow me to eyeball it a moment. Perhaps there's something here to help prove or disprove any of what you've been saying. There was notable variance to the input data, to an extent suggesting external dithering occurred. I hate to use the word sabotage, but disruptive intent seems clearly discernible. Did you? Tenured actuarian Himmelfarb has mentioned concerns. That doesn't rule out external tampering, though. I fear this was a waste of valuable time.
If I may, I have a point I'd like to add. There's a critical flaw in Seer Bujold's approach I think best illustrated by this English phrase. Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. I much appreciate this jest. Very simple, yet clever. Because in English, the word like can mean similar to or I prefer. and flies can be trousseau, or plural of the insect. Through this perspective, it functions, makes sense, is humorous even. But in another language where words' meanings differ slightly, it does not. The framework we interpret the statement from changes, thus rendering it uninterpretable. False. Bujold's method of shortcutting the universal equation is much the same.
It lacks context. When you extrapolate the data from the mini-universe to the larger one, the information itself may scale correctly, but fail to interrelate. This has been a difficult conversation. Challenging, disputatious, at times compelling. Yet I remain unswayed.
We tried. Our fallback plan's our only option now. Head for the hatch.
What was that? You're starting to worry me. What do you intend to do? The experiment data just arrived in my terminal. There was notable variance to the input data, to an extent suggesting external dithering occurred. I strongly...
Ventilation systems had been left connected to Test Chamber Alpha. As you know, it had been recently refurbished as an enclosure for Ankaris Braun. She gave her life for science. Well, it's true that we found the related research deeply flawed, but she gave her life for the pursuit of science. As the experiment was a colossal failure, I, as senior scientist remaining, have determined we must abandon this inquiry and shut down the program immediately. Oh, such a terrible shame. Farewell!
I understand now why they say never meet your heroes, Intercessor Delgado. You've truly been an enormous disappointment. A key experiment fails and Ankaris Braun falls prey to an unfortunate accident right after you and your consort arrive. And we are all to believe these events are unrelated?
That's circumstantial and more than a mite bit paranoid. I expect better from an Order scientician. Even one from the Department of Applied Scientism.
Don't think I don't see your handprints all over this, Delgado. I don't care that you somehow roped in Bujold with that little performance. I'm not buying it. The Anchoress, poor trusting soul that she was, may have believed you were here in good faith. But I don't. You're looking more and more like enemies to me. Fascinating. You know, I reviewed that work myself, right? I'm well versed in manipulative prevarication from feckless mutineers. Try again. Or try facing a gauntlet of well-trained exemplars. I could always choose for you. Are you done? I know you're to blame. I just wanted to see how far you were gonna take this. I can't believe Anchoress Brunn fell for any of it. Fellow exemplars of the Order, commence hostilities!
Let me know when you needed a stretch.
Try to limit further damage. Investigating hostile in... Hostile. Half of the unit away. Fortificator at red...
Conveying fulminant!
Taking cover!
Give the word and I'll take care of it, Commander.
Commander, throwing energy your way.
Look who it is. The legendary former head intercessor of the Order. Another mission successfully completed. Made it through all that without a scratch, hmm? Glad to see. Say, I know this was difficult and rather a mess, but you listened. You tried to do right before you did what you must. I appreciate it, the attempt. No matter how that may sound.
The credit or blame belongs to the commander here. It was their decision, ultimately.
You forget I know you. You always thought you knew better. No one could ever convince you of anything. Before, that is. Good to see. Maybe you are facing yourself.
There are a few things I'm still not used to saying. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Please. And thank you. But thank you, Anais.
At any rate, I'm off. You all take care now. Marisol, don't be too enigmatic or anything. Try. Before I forget. Meant to give you this earlier.
Oh, thank you, Anais. Goodbye. Oh, not really. Not yet, at any rate. Everything's a bit raw right now. But suppose I will be. Thank you, dear.
Seer Bujold sure was something. Hope you didn't take any of her harsher comments to heart.
Commander, it's customary to evaluate results after a mission of reasonable significance. Would now be good? I've had some time to cogitate over what occurred at Point Obviation. Some parts don't sit right with me still. Wonder if you and I might talk it through. A bit, yes. With the work I used to do, I'm no stranger to guilt and regret. Midway into my requisite sleep cycle is when it usually plagues me the most. We could have done better by Anchoris Brunn. If we'd properly convinced her to abandon the research, I'd doubtlessly still lament duping her, but she'd be alive. And yet, such actions were par for the course for me in the past. When my remorse for Brunn rears its head, it will need to get in line. Yes, Southworth was complicit. And now she's dead. I hope so, at least. According to Anais, we could have reduced the likelihood of that occurring by completing the brain off. It's not anywhere near zero, but it's unlikely. She seemed pleased that we at least attempted to address her concerns, so I've changed, apparently. Thanks to you. No. There's plenty of credit and blame to go around. It's been a while since anyone gave me a good talking to like Anais did. And I'll admit your influence has been rather positive. I'm pleased with the path I'm on now. I didn't think this is what the plan had in store for me. I've been facing myself with the same zeal I face my enemies. With tidier results. Appreciate you taking the time to talk it over, Commander.
Lucky day. Spotted me a wanted criminal. Now give me that bounty.
Ready to wait there. What's the name?
Route all disruptive influences.
Given how entrenched the Protectorate are here, we ought to consider a strategy. Crossing our fingers don't count.
Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea, it's the law. Feeling distracted? Daydreaming on the job? Mental refreshment centers are there to help you. Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts. Go now.
Maybe you weren't listening, but we've heard repeated reports of that bridge being an absolute meat grinder. I'm counting turrets, heavy infantry, at least one automech. Effectively, the works. I seriously recommend discussing alternate plans.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have and defend it.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
Prudence dictates we reject individualism in all its many forms.
Preserve said progress.
Yeah, I can see that. But let's say we entertain other options, just for grins and giggles.
Gray gone astray? Book a stay today. Are you mentally refreshed?
Remember,
I'll back you up because you've been there for me, but you easily may get us all killed.
console. The console provides, the system abides. Prudence dictates we route all disruptive influences.
Assessor Ostergaard making a mess of things again.
Lacking the appropriate seal for their assigned work?
Got trouble, man. Ready to take the heat off, Commander.
I
energy is up for grabs.
Taking cover! Perfection is perfect! Replenishing my
for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. All in this together.
Combatant observed.
Trust the plan. Preserve set progress. But
Hostilities.
freeloaders in our midst.
Deployed. Free energy if you can reach it.
Preserve set progress. Sustain. Grey gone astray? Book a stay today. Are you mentally refreshed?
Remember, all subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Consul. The Consul provides, the system abides. Prudence dictates we rout all disruptive influences.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment.
unknown.
Breaking for cover!
Plasma tolerances.
Stun weapon ready, Commander.
Restoring the balance!
You've suffered extensive damage, Commander.
Pushing ahead!
They covet our served console.